Good evening and welcome to Center High School in Kansas City. Tonight's Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week, Class 3 District 7 football. And in this first round game in Missouri, number 5 seed Pleasant Hill takes on the 4 seed of Center. Hi everybody, Kevin Wyke along with Johnny Beck. Welcome to Spectrum Sports and our Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. First round district play, win or go home time, and this is a very tough district.
Yeah, and these two teams met last year for the district championship. Obviously, a lot of familiar faces on both sides. The winner of this game will go take on the number 1 team in Class 3A, Odessa.
As we take a look at the Class 3 District 7, you got the number 1 team in the state, Johnny. These two teams are 7-2, and they're only mid-pack here. Yeah,
and you have obviously two coaches that are familiar with each other, so there's a little bit of, friendly rivalry here, and, you like to see these two teams match up.
Time now for the Hy-Vee player profile and quarterbacks in the spotlight, and we'll start with Pleasant Hill, and their quarterback is Blake Atkins.
Yeah, and he's done a really good job of putting himself on college radars this year. He's the man that kind of runs this ship for the offense and gets these guys going.
And for the Yellow Jackets, a change at quarterback. Wide receiver Trevor Wilson going to play quarterback tonight. Coach's decision.
Yeah, and it's the next man up mentality. You've got a guy who's been playing wide receiver, but to keep this offense rolling, you got to plug in your next best athlete.
Center playing host to Pleasant Hill. It's district football. It's the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. And we're back with the opening kickoff right after this on Spectrum Sports. The Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Hy-Vee, the official sponsor of High School Spirit. Beautiful late October night, temperatures in the 50s. As the captains go to midfield for the opening coin toss with our referee in charge tonight, Brian Keith. Coaches out there as well. As you take a look at Greg Smith, the head coach of Pleasant Hill, and Brian DeLong, head coach of the Center Yellow Jackets. Funny thing is, Johnny mentioned in the open that they're good friends. Coached in an all-star game a few years ago together and worked with the Greater Kansas City Football Coaches Association. So Coach DeLong wasn't really thrilled to be playing his friend in the first round of the district play.
Yeah, it's always a tough matchup anytime you got to play against a friendly competition like that. But they understand they've got to get their teams ready to go here and put that aside for the next couple hours here.
And there is Coach DeLong. What a job he's done. In his 10th year, he's won 71% of his games, including 4 conference titles and 3 district titles, including last year when they beat Pleasant Hill. The final score was 38-13. They would end up losing to Maryville for a second straight year in the state quarterfinals, but this guy's done a great job with this program. These seniors have gone 39-8.
Yeah, they're obviously battle-tested, haven't been through the playoffs before. They know how to win these types of games, and obviously they're going to, be short a couple players, but, it's always the next man up mentality, and always helps to have a really good head coach to kind of lead these guys out there.
Pleasant Hill won the opening coin toss, deferred their option to the second half. So the Roosters, the visiting team, the lower seed, the 5 seed, 7-2. They're from the MRVC West. They got second place in their conference, behind the number 1 team in the state, Odessa, who they lost to by 10 points. Deep back will be Trevor Wilson, awaiting the Jake Harlan kick. And playoff football for Missouri not ready to commence on this beautiful fall Friday night in Kansas City.
Yeah, you can't beat the weather tonight. Obviously no rain in the forecast, so obviously have a clean game tonight.
Natural grass surface, that's a rarity in Kansas City. A little rain last night, but the field in good shape. Short kick, and fielded with a fair catch by Isaiah Henderson, just inside the 35. And that's where the offense for the Yellow Jackets of Center, 7-2. They're an independent. They're the 4th seed. They're a hybrid spread team. They'll do some pistol, do some wing tee. They run it about 70% of the time. But they have a change at quarterback. Coach making a change, coach's decision, and they move probably their top wide receiver into play quarterback. Jesse Stills will sit on the sidelines for at least the first half. Ohanmu is the running back. He'll get a lot more touches tonight. Give it off on a jet sweep to Damian Burnett, trying to turn the corner and not going to get there. It's going to lose yardage. As running him down nicely was Miguel Venegas. Time now for your starting lineups, brought to you by Concord Career College. You can start your healthcare career in months, not years. Concord has several career paths to choose from, and classes are forming now. To find out more, visit concord.edu. These are the guys up front, along with the skill players. Changes all around for center as they have their first district game. Here's their power back, Nosa Ohanamu, and he is close to the first down, about a yard short. Now this guy is nothing fancy, Johnny. This is a run between the hashes guy. Yes, he got nearly the first down as we continue with the Concord Career College starting lineups. Guys up front, Carr, the big nose guard, Ben Cox, the transfer from Lone Jack. But their leading tacklers in their secondary, the safety man, that is Garrett Schick, over 100 tackles coming into play tonight. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for this Yellow Jacket offense. The quarterback going to keep it, and he'll get it across midfield for the first down. That is Trevor Wilson. Also plays baseball here at Center High School.
You see Center starting off the game with 3 run plays. First one, they tried to get around the perimeter. Pleasant Hill did a really good job of stretching the field out. The last 2 runs by Center, they've just gone right behind their big guys up front, able to pick up a first down there.
Brian QB checking in the ball game. He was a question mark with an ankle injury. Their leading rusher, Chris Farrar, is a question mark with an ankle injury, but both are expected to play tonight. Motion by QB, he gets it on the jet sweep, tries to turn it up, and maybe a yard on the play. Garrett Schick, their leading tackler, number 24, a strong safety. You'll hear that name called a lot on the defensive side for the Roosters.
Yeah, and you see Schick do a really good job at just being patient with it, and then once he sees the running back cut up, does a good job of fitting his helmet right in there and making the play.
And the ankle looked okay for Brian on that jet sweep run, but I saw him with an ice bag early on his ankle when I came to practice on Monday.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how this field holds up to see if that has an effect at all.
And they give it off on a running play inside. That is Chris Taylor. And Taylor going to get a few more touches tonight. He gets to the 44-yard line. So still going to leave him a 3rd and a pretty good shot here. They're going to need about long 6, short 7. But Taylor, one of their more improved players, track athlete as well.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys on the center offensive side that are going to get carries today as their 2 main runners are out. I've seen 4 different guys carry the ball right now.
This is Ohanamu, and he got down low, but he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Nosa Ohanamu.
Looked like he's fallen forward pretty close to it. Doesn't look like they're going to measure, so obviously it's going to be a 4th and short here for Center. They've had success running the ball up the middle, so I obviously anticipate them staying with that on this 4th and short.
So they will go for it on 4th down. Quarterback will keep it, and Wilson got the first down. Good second effort by Trevor Wilson, 170-pound senior, and move the chains for the Yellow Jackets.
Wilson does a good job avoiding that first tackler, putting his head down. All he needed was a yard. Just follows those blockers up front, puts that head down, falls forward, gets that first down. Big play right there to keep the drive going for center.
Opening drive of the game. Yellow Jackets on the move. Motion by QB. Pitch it out late. And the field making the tackle that time on Ohanamu. And Johnny mentioned it rained last night. Natural grass surface, and there is some wet spots out there. And we saw the fullback slip for center, and we'll lose about a half yard on the play.
Well, when you get to this deep into the season, the wear and tear starts to build up on the field, especially in between the 20s. So you're going to have to, as a running back, you're going to have to put that foot down in the ground and ensure that you're going to make that cut before you start getting upfield.
Second down and long. Inside handoff again. This is Ohanamu. He is gang tackled at around the 33-yard line. Not a lot of shake with this guy. It's all power with number 2.
Yeah, and they just get, fill in right behind those guys right there. You see a little bit of slip as he's trying to accelerate through the hole. So again, last 2 plays, the field's kind of played a part in those, but center's doing a good job of running the ball up the middle.
Got 5 on that one. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Here's Ohanamu, and Schick making a nice tackle at the 30. And now the decision, Johnny, will be a 4th down and about 3 facing the Yellow Jackets as Schick, who is the strong safety, all-state player, all-conference player, guy that took up wrestling last year and was a state qualifier. You rarely hear that in the wrestling world. That tells me he's a really good athlete.
Well, and knows how to play with leverage, and that's so important, playing that position, trying to get around those big offensive linemen to get that running back down.
Come on.
1 for 1 on the 4th down conversions. They'll go for it here, and Wilson going to take off and run, and he's got the first down, and fighting hard, holding on for dear life is the free safety Clevenger, bringing him down near the 10-yard line.
Good hard run there by Wilson to get that first down. This looked like he was a quarterback keeper the whole time, fights through a couple tackles there. Good job of holding on there, bringing him down, but another big 4th down conversion there by center.
20-yard run on 4th down and 3. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets, driving the football on their initial drive of the game.
Staying with the run every single play.
And they give it on a running play to Chris Taylor, and he's got a good gain, about 5 yards. This offense is hard to find the football sometimes, Johnny. You got to take a second. I was talking with Greg Smith, the Pleasant Hill coach, and he said, how do you stop this defense? I said, I have trouble just finding the football sometimes as a broadcaster.
Yeah, with the guy in motion, got to make sure that you're following that ball once quarterback gets it.
That's Wilson this time, the quarterback. He'll get 2 more yards to the 3 and then push back. But yeah, there's so much window dressing, as using the coaching vernacular there, but you got to find the pigskin when it's all said and done. This time it's the quarterback running it.
Well, when you put that guy in motion, that forces the defense to cover him as he comes across the quarterback. And it kind of opens up the middle. Obviously, we've seen Wilson take advantage of that a couple times on this drive.
Wilson going to run it. The quarterback is tripped up. Nice play by Venegas, taking his legs out. Now we got a flag down.
We had some penetration in the backfield.
First call of the night by referee in charge Brian Keith is a holding penalty on Coach DeLong's team.
And that was the first play that we've seen Pleasant Hill get some pressure in the backfield.
Where are we at? In the runs are the 2.
Yeah, looks right there on number 69. Just grabbed the jersey a little bit.
He's only able to get a yard on the play. Now the penalty is walked off against the Yellow Jackets, who lost last week to Sedalia Smith Cotton. Coach DeLong thought his team was going to be about a 2 or 3 seed, but that loss by the margin dropped them down to the 4 seed. And has to face his good friend and Coach Smith for Pleasant Hill, the 5 seed. And this is a very costly penalty, Johnny, as it pushes the ball past the 15 out to the 17-yard line.
We haven't seen a passing play yet by center. We'll see if they throw the ball here.
Wilson in trouble, throwing it over the head of Daryl Johnson, incomplete, trying to set up a screen there. And there were a lot of roosters in the backfield for Pleasant Hill, putting pressure on Trevor Wilson.
Yeah, Burkhardt again in the backfield. It's the second play in a row. He blew that play up. Didn't allow that screen to get set up. Looks like they're going to go for a field goal here, about a 34-yarder.
And they have a good kicker. His long on the season is 38. Ethan Robertson, a senior, college prospect, a guy that works really hard, goes to camps. And low driving kick, and it is up and good.
That's the name of the game. You got to put points on the board. Good job of finishing that drive by center. Even though it's 3 points, they did a good job converting on a couple 4th downs to put them in position to get those points.
So the penalty does not derail the drive, and they're able to get points on the first drive of the game. All right, Johnny, you're the former kicker here. Let's give your evaluation here on this 34-yard field goal.
Well, it looks like he slipped a little bit, but anytime you take the field as a place kicker, your job is to put points on the board, and that's what he did. We talked about the field conditions. He secured that plant foot, got that ball high enough over the line of scrimmage. And all you got to do is put it through those yellow poles.
Pleasant Hill has 2 deep men, Harlan and Herlock. Herlock is a transfer from Lone Jack. I got a couple of kids from Lone Jack that really helped their team this year. As Robertson, short directional kick, going to be fielded by Grego at the 30-yard line. Grego is a wide receiver, starting wide receiver. And he'll run it out for good field position now for the Pleasant Hill offense. This is a shotgun spread offense. And their quarterback is Blake Atkins. And I said, Coach, I hear you throwing it a lot more this year. He said, no, we're just throwing it better with this guy, Blake Atkins. He's had a very good year, the senior, averaging over 10 yards per attempt. And the touchdown to interception ratio is good as well.
And he's got a lot of guys on that side of the ball that he can get obviously the passing game going with, but got to be careful. The running back's still dangerous, even the spread formation.
Schick is their leading rusher as Atkins throwing and low, incomplete, as he was targeting Cutter Herlock, the junior wideout, one of their fastest guys on the team.
Zane Parker did a good job of getting in the backfield there, disrupting that pass play. Forced Atkins to throw the ball a little bit off of his back foot, wasn't able to put the ball in his receiver's hands.
2nd down and 10. Roosters average 40 points per game, 7-2 their record. Here's the pass to Kohler, Ramsey Kohler with the catch. And he's about a yard shy of the first down as we continue a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Concord Career College. These are the guys up front. Hagen's their only returning starter on the offensive line. Wide receivers are very good with Bramwell, Herlock, Grego, and Kohler. Their leading rusher is Schick. He's also the leading tackler on defense. There's Schick running up the middle on 3rd down and short, and he is stuffed. 4th down coming up for the Roosters.
Yeah, great job there by center, gang tackling, just getting a lot of blue hats to the football right there and not allowing Pleasant Hill to get that forward lean and get that first down.
Like Julian Rangel doing a good job, number 75, their nose guard, of clogging up the middle and stuffing the 3rd down and short play. Zane Parker there as well. So it'll be a 4th down and 1, punting unit coming out. That'll be Trey Clevenger. It's a fake, and they're going to throw it down the field, and it is caught by Bramwell. It is a first down. So Wyatt Bramwell makes the catch. So a little trickery by the Roosters, and they're able to convert.
And there's a penalty flag on the field.
The backup quarterback, Carson Shoup, threw that ball, but once again, Johnny mentioned the penalty flag is down.
And it looked like it took a little bit for that play to develop. I wonder if there's somebody was downfield.
Coach DeLong is yelling from the center sideline, and that's why Brian Keith is kind of giving the hold on a second. Legal man downfield for Pleasant Hill.
I think you'll repeat 4th down here. I would assume Pleasant Hill is going to send the punting unit back out again. And it just took a little while for that to develop, and you know, sometimes your guys on the punt team that aren't typically your linemen don't really know the rules, and you know, sometimes you release downfield. And it looks like that was kind of the case right there. Guy just kind of got lost.
Now it'll be 4th down and 6, and Clevenger will more than likely punt this ball.
Center
Nobody
doesn't
back.
have any
Yeah,
back.
they didn't have anybody back to field this punt. And the punt will get touched inside the 20-yard line near the 18. It's a 42-yard punt, no return, and center offense coming back on the field with number 11 running things. Trevor Wilson. What about number 11's play in that initial drive of the game? That's some pretty good work there.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions. So, you know, staying poised as the quarterback, and when they needed him to step up, he's picking up big yards. And you know, anytime you got to step in and be that guy, you know, you just listen to what your coaches are telling you, and obviously you take what the defense gives you. You're not trying to do too much. You're not trying to be the hero. You let the other 10 guys on the field do their job, and you just fill in the gaps.
Ohana-Wumu is the running back behind the quarterback. This is a pistol formation. Nosa gets it, and Nosa finds a little crease out to the 25-yard line.
They're finding a little success in between the tackles. The big gains from center have come in between those guys, and obviously it's come from a couple different ball carriers. But right there you just see a good power run, putting the head down, getting those extra yards, setting up a manageable 2nd down.
Nosa is a sophomore. And here's the sophomore running back. Again, good blocking by the offensive line, and he'll run for a 1st down out to the 31-yard line. Ohana-Wumu, 190-pound sophomore. So he's pretty hard to tackle as you take a look at DeAndre Winston, top of his class as far as GPA.
And you see what the man in motion does right there. He pulls the defensive end to him for just 1 split second, and that allows that inside run to get upfield. So the man in motion is doing his job of forcing the defense to cover him through that.
DeAndre in the top 5 of his class talking to his father before the game. Now the ball is loose on the field, and Pleasant Hill has covered it up. Wes Burkhart with the fumble recovery for the Roosters.
Let's go, Z!
Looked like in the backfield there was a little bit of mislap with that snap. I couldn't tell if they ran into each other. No, he just kind of ran right in front of him as the snap was coming back. Didn't give Trevor Wilson a clear shot of where that ball was. Looked like Wilson had a chance to hop on that ball pretty quick, but as he was going down for it, the Pleasant Hill guys were there to kind of bump him off the football. But again, Burkhart doing his job on the defensive line.
Schick to the left of the quarterback, gets the handoff, cuts it back nicely, and he'll get inside the 20 to the 16-yard line for a nice gain on 1st down. Schick was the backup last year. They had Cody Faust last year, who was a very good running back, also a linebacker, and now Schick has come in and filling that role. We mentioned that he was a state qualifier as a wrestler, and this was last year. That was his 1st year of wrestling, so it's quite an accomplishment. Is Herlock going in motion across the set. Atkins plenty of time. They'll throw it to Cutter. And Cutter will fight his way but not get the first down. Cutter's probably their fastest guy on their squad, 4'5". Making the tackle was Isaiah Henderson, the strong safety.
Yeah, you saw Henderson given a little bit of a cushion, but once that ball was completed, does a good job of running downhill and making the tackle. It's always a defensive secondary coach's nightmare of, guys that fly up and try and make a big hit and end up missing the tackle. You see Henderson do a good job of just running through the ball carrier there.
Third down and short, standard I formation. They bring a fullback in, pitch it out to Schick, cuts it back, and he is short.
Looked like Henderson again was there to blow up that lead block, and
Damon Washington, the outside linebacker, sealed the edge and made the stop, and it'll be 4th down. That is the final play of your first quarter on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. District time in Class 3, 3-0 Center over Pleasant Hill. You're watching Spectrum Sports. This is the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week on Spectrum Sports, and it is playoff time in Missouri and in Kansas for that matter. This is the Class 3 District 7 first-round game between the 4 seed of Center and the 5 seed of Pleasant Hill, in a fast first quarter. And now we see Pleasant Hill trying to take advantage of our first turnover of the game, a fumbled snap, and now they'll try to tie the game with a field goal by Jake Harlan. And it is up, and it is good. 3-3 ball game here as we start playing the second quarter. As we saw the nice third down stop by the Center defense to wrap up play in the first quarter, but Harlan showed off a very impressive leg. The kickers have been good thus far tonight, John.
Yeah, we got a 3-3 tie, and obviously we talked about it earlier. These guys are going to be fighting the field a little bit, but does a good job of keeping that head down. Good operation time, good snap, good hold. Kick is up and good. So Pleasant Hill obviously wish they could have got a touchdown with that good starting field position, but they'll settle for 3. Pushing the tie going here at the start of the second quarter.
So both field goal kickers in this game from hitting field goals, Johnny. I mean, there's 30 plus on a natural grass field tonight, doing a good job tonight. Talking about Robertson and Harlan. Harlan has it on the tee to send it back to Center. This will be Trevor Wilson doing it all tonight, quarterback. And now on the kick return. And he's across the 30, near the 33-yard line, a 16-yard kickoff return. And the Yellow Jackets, who turned the ball over last time, will get the football. Adam Nichols right there in the middle there, the hoodie and the headset. He is their offensive coordinator.
And that first drive, Center had to start the game. Obviously did a good job of running the football. Converted a couple 4th down conversions. They've got 4 first downs on the night. Looking to add to that total on this drive.
First and 10. Inside running are the Yellow Jackets with Ohanamu, and Ohanamu has proven to be a very tough tackle for this Pleasant Hill defense, as he's got the first down and more out to midfield.
Yeah, and the first initial contact was about going to be a 3-yard gain, but just does a really good job of keeping those feet moving, and those big offensive linemen get behind and just keep pushing the pile. And if you're the running back, you just keep those feet moving and making sure you're keeping both hands on the football. Finishing that run at about a 16-yard gain.
Yeah. First down run, as this is their leading rusher, Chris Farrar, the speedy one. Kind of a ankle injury. You see him a little gimpy. I saw him running before the game. There's a little hitch in his giddy up, but he's able to get a nice gain on first down. But this is the guy that leads them in rushing, over 900 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Pleasant Hill's doing a good job of stretching these out to the sideline. He just does a good job of getting upfield there, putting the foot down and getting what he can.
Got a gain of 4. He brings the speed, the junior number 28. As Wilson gives it off to their power guy, and he runs into Schick at the 41-yard line. Just a couple yards shy of the first down. That was some hard contact between Nosa and Garrett Schick.
You see Schick coming downhill right there, making the tackle. Like you talked about, the 2 guys running full speed right there. And hear that all the way up here at the press box. Third and short here for center.
Motion by Burnett, and Ohanamu is a yard short. Looked like he was signaling to come out of the game on the prior play, and they didn't take him out. And coach said, number 2 is going to get a lot of touches. Our starting running back is not playing tonight. Coach's decision. So the backup, the next man up, is going to get a lot of work. And Nosa looks like he's breathing pretty heavily out there. It's going to be 4th down and a yard facing center. They've had no qualms about going for it tonight. They're going to go for it.
2 for 2 on the night on 4th down conversions.
Quarterback going to keep it on the read option, and Wilson looks like he got it on the second effort there. He showed good vision on the play. Just kind of found a small crease and able to get the first down. Tyler Hagan brought him down, the defensive lineman, but should be enough for the first down, but the officials are going to measure to be sure here.
Well, and you said it, you know, he had really good vision there. He just didn't try and put his helmet down and get what he can. He was patient, allows blockers to kind of make him a hole, and then he obviously just found his way. It looked like from up here they got it by about the nose of the football.
I was talking to Coach Smith before the game. I said, you ever played on grass this year? He goes, oh yeah, we played at Richmond on grass, so this is nothing new to us. But it's pretty rare to see a grass field in the metro area. Fort Osage got rid of their grass field. It is a first down.
Again, now center's converted 3 of 3 4th downs tonight. Trevor Wilson doing a good job of converting those. But what center's doing is they're giving themselves manageable 3rd and 4th down situations. And that's all you can ask for when you're running the football.
Chris Taylor in the backfield as Ohanamu has checked out. Wing left is Farrar, their leading rusher, number 28. Probably their most dangerous player. Give it off to Chris Taylor. He powers through. And he's got yardage to the 31-yard line. So gain about 8 by Chris Taylor. And the running game is working tonight for center.
Yeah, Taylor did a really good job there, just getting past that initial contact. For a good gain of 8. Right there you see Pleasant Hill getting the hands on him in the backfield, but these running backs for center are doing a good job, just putting both hands on the football and taking what's given to them.
Now it's 2nd down and short. And they jet sweep it with QB. And Garrett Schick coming up from his strong safety slot, able to make the tackle, but not after the first down was acquired by the Jackets.
Yeah, and Schick does a good job of shedding his blocker. Looked like that play was going upfield, but does a good job of just slow playing that and using his leverage and keeping his man on his inside shoulder, forcing him back inside.
Schick, an excellent student there at Pleasant Hill High School, as we get a timeout on the field. As the Roosters take a defensive timeout. We're talking about Schick being a college potential guy. But the defense, they do allow 23 points per game. So I saw that and I went, well, that's quite a bit here. Center is moving the football. They average 34 points per game. but they're not playing with their starting quarterback or their starting running back. But sometimes the system trumps all, and like you said, Johnny, next man up. Sometimes when you get sent to the sidelines, you don't get back on the field. The next guy comes up and does a better job, and you lose your gig.
You know, that's sometimes, you know, what happens is you've got a guy behind you that's just a little bit more hungry and does the things necessary to work his way up the depth chart. And obviously you got a guy like Trevor Wilson that is doing a really good job of filling in tonight.
1st and 10 after the defensive timeout. Wilson going to throw, and the pass nearly intercepted, as that was Schick that nearly jumped that pass there as he got his hands on it, but couldn't reel it in for the interception.
Yeah, it looks like they just ran a seam route, and Schick does a good job of just following the quarterback's eyes, playing the ball obviously underneath. I'd like to see that ball thrown up a little bit higher, give his guy a chance to go up and catch it.
Farrar was the intended target, their speed guy down the seam, but Schick nearly got the INT. 2nd down and 10, and this is the aforementioned Farrar, and taken down from behind. Nice play there by Ben Cox, the defensive lineman, number 59. Cox is another one of those transfers from Lone Jack.
And there's a lot of traffic here in the backfield. Good job of the Pleasant Hill defenders of following where the ball was, staying disciplined, making that play. Going to force a 3rd and long here for center. They've only attempted 2 passes, so you wonder if this is 4-down territory here, just trying to cut this 4th down to a more manageable situation.
It's going to be 3rd down and 9 as Cox, the inside linebacker, along with Sam Gray, do a good job. They're both underclassmen. Wilson throwing, finding Isaiah Henderson. Good moves in the open field. Still on his feet inside the 10. What a play by Isaiah Henderson. As number 12 with a big play on a 3rd down and long as the 2 wide receivers, Wilson and Henderson, hook up here.
Yeah, you see Wilson put the ball right in Henderson's hand. Henderson just turns to see where the defenders are. They kind of slow played it a little bit, and then he's athletic enough to make that guy miss and get upfield. Inside the 10 here now for center.
He is a college prospect, according to the coaching staff.
He's already made a couple big plays on the defensive side.
1st and goal. Inside running is Ohanamu. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust with this guy as he gets it down to the 6-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and goal.
I think you're going to see a couple more power runs here. See if they can't stay with their bread and butter, staying in between the tackles. Did you see Pleasant Hill really flooding the box?
And the quarterback going to run it here, and that's Wilson. Gray, the linebacker, hanging on around his hips, brings him down near the 2-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and goal.
Got a penalty flag on the field. Again, it looked like Burkhardt was in the backfield getting held again. He's done a really good job of disrupting some of these run plays.
Hey, stay together.
And once again, the Yellow Jackets get in the red zone and get a costly penalty. That kind of hurt them on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, and those 10-yard penalties are tough inside the 10-yard line.
Coach, 72, 72, 72.
Forces center maybe into another passing situation if they get in a 3rd and long, but we've seen Trevor Wilson be able to throw the ball a little bit when he needs to.
So the penalty yardage gets it back to the 19-yard line, still in the red zone. They have a field goal by Robertson. Wilson rolling right, and finally taken down by the linebacker Cox. And on 3rd down and 19, it'll be 4th down. And see if they want to try a long field goal, or will they go for it here?
You see, it was a pass play. Nobody was open down the field, so Wilson does the smart thing and just tries to get some yards there.
He got a yard on that play. A lot of running for 1 yard, and they'll go for it. It is third down, I beg your pardon, with the penalty. So it'll be third down. And now we'll get a timeout. I heard Coach DeLong say timeout from the sidelines. And his offense will come to the sidelines and talk with their offensive coordinator, Adam Nichols. Coach DeLong works with the offense as well. There's Brian right there. The shorts on, talking on the headset. 10th year, 42-year-old head coach. Done a great job with this program.
Well, we've already seen a field goal made tonight by center, so obviously you'd like to score a touchdown here, but if you don't get in the end zone, still in very manageable field goal position to put some points on the board.
Yeah, Robertson and Harlan have shown good legs, 30+ on their field goal makes. Thus far, the scoring in the ball game is Trevor Wilson back out on the field, but facing a third down and 18. It's also third down and goal, so they have to score here.
Well, and if you're center, you can't take a sack. You can't take any lost yardage here.
Rolling left, stumbling is the quarterback. Throwing against his body, and the ball is broken up inside the end zone. Looking for his man, Isaiah Henderson, about 2 yards deep. And looks like Venegas knocked it free as they kind of collided as the ball crossed the goal line. It'll be fourth down now.
Yeah, that's a tough throw. You're throwing against your body, back across the field a little bit.
Good work by Venegas. He was trying to go for the interception. Both players were trying to get a hold of it. Here's Robertson with a 35-yard attempt. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Robertson has one from 34, now 35 yards. And this one, Johnny, had more of the normal, traditional flight pattern.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a step there forward, but does a good job of regaining his focus. And again, your job is to put the ball in between those two yellow poles. Does a good job of finishing off that drive. So again, center gets inside the 10-yard line again, but another costly penalty forces them into a field goal.
Well, lucky they have a good field goal kicker. Robertson, coach says he's got college potential. You get him in the right situation. You know, Johnny, the kickers are getting more love. Back in the old days, it used to be you have to come on and be a walk-on and pay your own way and beat out the guys in front of you before they'd even think about giving you a scholarship. But kicking game getting a little better for the kickers.
Well, you start realizing how important it is to have a guy that you can count on to go out there and put points on the board. You know, when his number's called. Again, center with the long drive, 14 plays, 60 yards, capped off with that 35-yard field goal by Robertson. But again, taking 5:30 off the clock, keeping this Pleasant Hill offense on the sideline for most of this first half.
This is Jake Harlan, the running back. And he has it at the 45-yard line. It'll be a 22-yard return. So you try to kick it short, and you hope it'll be like a defensive lineman maybe catching that ball. But instead, it's Jake Harlan, their backup running back, in a good field position at the 45 now for the Roosters. Really, their offense has been a little dormant tonight, Johnny. They took advantage of a costly turnover by center to get their field goal, but we haven't seen much of this high-flying Roosters passing game tonight.
Well, the center defense has done a really good job on first down of forcing Pleasant Hill into some longer second and third down situations.
Well, they got 4 receivers deployed, 3 to the right of the quarterback. Play action, and Atkins looking down the field, incomplete. Bramwell was the target. Burnett had the coverage for center.
Looked like he had a couple guys that had beaten the secondary as center, but just wasn't able to put that ball on the target. That's obviously a play that they're probably going to go back to at some point.
Bramwell leads them in touchdown catches with 7, but Ramsey Kohler leads them in catches and yardage. Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Atkins flushed out of the pocket, going to take off and run. Slide right near the first down stake, but he'll be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.
And it looked like he had got that on the slide, but anytime you go feet first, they're going to mark it where you start the slide, and obviously that was a yard short. Yeah, good job of avoiding the pressure right there.
Now 3rd down and short. Quick pass to Herlock. And Cutter inside the 40 to the 39. That'll be enough for the first down. The junior transfer from Lone Jack. One of their fastest guys on the team. And that is touch number 28 on the year for Cutter Herlock.
And that's Pleasant Hill's first down of the night.
Atkins rolling, throwing, finds Herlock again, turning it up the field. And he's run out of play on the far sideline at the 25, and another first down for the Roosters. And Herlock's shaken up.
Yeah, and you see Herlock come in motion right there, so he had a little bit of advantage and just beat his guy running towards the sideline. Good job by Atkins, leading him on that throw, allowing Herlock to get upfield.
Herlock not injured, just has a equipment issue. Looked like he lost his shoe there. Atkins going to throw on first down. Rolling, throwing, and the pass going to be intercepted in the end zone by Damian Burnett. Just stayed with the play and got the Yellow Jackets interception. Damian Burnett.
Yeah, just worked underneath the route there. Good job of making a play on the football. Looked like he caught that with one hand and just kind of slid underneath of it. Either way, that's a heck of a play.
That's a great catch there by Burnett. I had to make sure he secured the football there as he had his back to us. Was looking for a Kohler, and just a nice diving interception by Damian Burnett, who's really been playing well, says the coaching staff. Also plays basketball.
See on that throw, Atkins didn't set his feet, so he didn't get enough behind that ball. That obviously allowed that defensive back to get underneath, but again, heck of a play.
First turnover of the game by the Roosters. 7th interception thrown by Atkins. As here's Ohanawu. Ohanawu, not much on this one, maybe a yard. As gang tackled down.
You see Pleasant Hill slowly walking their safeties up a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage there.
The safeties are Clevenger and Schick. Schick is their leading tackler. Like Ben Cox was involved in that stop. 2nd down and 9. Quarterback keeping on the read option. And there's Schick with a nice stop. It'll be a tackle for a loss. Garrett Schick.
It looked like Wilson had a lead blocker out there, but Schick came up and just filled the void. See right there, number 18 with the good block on Burkhardt, but Schick reading that all the way, just working downhill, making that play in the backfield. Got a 3rd and long here for center.
Mentioned Schick, their leading tackler, but also their leading rusher. Now 3rd down and 10. Wilson turns right, throws low, incomplete. Henderson was coming back on the ball, but that pass was too low. It'll be 4th down.
It just looked like he didn't get his feet set enough to get behind that ball enough to get that ball to the outside. But again, he's targeting Henderson out there on the outside, and he's a guy that can make plays, so continue to try and get him the football when needed.
Ohanawu is also their punter. So Nosa and Wilson are out there. So they'll probably snap it to number 2 and have him punt it here. And there it goes right there. Sends it high in the air at midfield. Venegas goes nowhere on the return. Great special teams work by Isaiah Henderson, flying down the field, and no return by the Yellow Jackets. They'll take over at their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, good job just getting that ball up high enough to allow your guys downfield. Again, the ball traveled 32 yards, but it's a net as they make the tackle right at the 48-yard line. Still pretty good starting field position here for Pleasant Hill. Obviously, they were able to march down the field that last drive, but ended up throwing that pick in the end zone. See if Atkins can't shake that off and come out here and try and put some points on the board for Pleasant Hill.
Atkins, a 3-sport star at Pleasant Hill. Basketball, baseball, and the star quarterback. 1st and 10. Going deep down the field, Burnett nearly got another interception there. Bramwell was the target, but how about Damian Burnett? He is running nicely, and he's in the sights of quarterback Blake Atkins. Got an interception earlier, but watch this play. He nearly got number 2, Johnny.
Well, he does a good job of just staying with this guy, and then once the ball's released, I mean, this guy's a ball hawk. He finds that ball, and he's going to go after it.
2nd down and 10. This is Harlan. Nice cut there. Tackled by Chris Taylor at the 49-yard line. A gain about 3 on the play.
Good job there by Chris Taylor coming up and making that tackle.
Clock approaching 3 to play before Hy-Vee at the half. Numbers, highlights brought to you by your employee-owned Hy-Vee stores. Atkins rolling, throwing, finding Bramwell in stride. Wyatt Bramwell tackled, and he lost the football at the end of the play. Now they're saying he was down, and it will be a 19-yard gain and a 1st down for the Roosters.
So Bramwell just kind of running free.
Check that, 29 yards. I beg your pardon. 29-yard gain and a 1st down for Wyatt Bramwell.
He just does a good job of hitting him in stride, allowing Bramwell to get upfield. And right here, you see, you got to get that ball tucked a little bit more right there.
Low pass, and it is a catch by Herlock. Let's go back to the last play here. Bramwell tackle from behind, and the ball is coming out as he hits the ground, so the officials blew the play dead at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he had possession all the way till the ground, and then the ground kind of popped that ball out at the last second.
Here's Atkins finding Herlock. Nice cut. Herlock using that great speed, trying to turn the corner using the stiff arm, and he's brought down just outside the 5-yard line. Cutter Herlock. The 1st and goal coming up here now for Pleasant Hill. This is their best drive of the night.
Just a quick pass play here. Herlock makes a couple guys miss again. Got to make sure you have your footing when you're breaking down to tackle that ball carrier.
So from the 6-yard line, 1st and goal now for the Roosters, trying to grab the lead, trailing 6-3 just before halftime. Atkins tries to take off. He'll get a yard, and he is brought down there. As that was Ohanamu. He's playing some linebacker tonight on the inside, and Blake could not find anybody open. Credit the center secondary with the good coverage on this one.
Sometimes when you get inside the 10-yard line, those windows shrink a little bit, and you may be unsure of if you can fit that ball in there. And obviously, after throwing the pick in the end zone the last drive, you've got second thoughts, and he does what he's supposed to do and just try and get some yards there.
He got a yard, and we get a timeout for center as Coach Smith going to talk to his quarterback. Greg handles all the play calling for the Roosters, so he'll talk it over with his offense. Let's take another look at the Class 3 District 7 standings. If you're not familiar, Odessa's the #1 team in the state. Mark Thomas's team is rolling this year. Pembroke Hill also undefeated. Hogan Prep played one less game. That got some coaches in this district grumbling, as they got the 3rd spot ahead of teams that played 9 games, Center and Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, and you see that you got 6 teams in the league with over 500 records, so pretty good showing from most of the teams in the league this season.
Now it'll be second down and goal from the 5 after the timeout. Atkins has a wide open man. That's Wyatt Bramwell, who will dash into the end zone for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown pass from Atkins to Wyatt Bramwell, who leads the team in TD catches. That's his 8th of the season.
And Bramwell just does a good job of just running a quick out pattern. The defensive back wasn't able to get over there in time. But we've seen Blake Atkins really step up that accuracy these last couple drives. Again, putting the ball out in front of his wide receiver there, allowing him to just make the catch and turn outfield for an easy touchdown.
So a 9-6 ball game with Harlan to tack on the extra point. Bramwell also holds, and Harlan, tell you what, he puts his full body into those kicks, drives it through the uprights. It is a 10-6 Pleasant Hill lead. Wyatt Bramwell with the touchdown catch.
Well, we've seen the last 2 drives by Pleasant Hill. They've been able to kind of get going with the passing game. It obviously starts with the short passing game, just getting the quarterback in rhythm, and all of a sudden you start getting some open guys running across the field. You see just putting the ball outside there where his guy can catch it. Easily just walking in the end zone once he makes that catch. You see this Pleasant Hill offense starting to pick up some steam here. Center's done a pretty good job on the defensive side of making stops when they needed to. But on that drive, Pleasant Hill was able to finish it off in the end zone.
18th touchdown pass thrown by the quarterback, Blake Atkins. Here's the return from the 4-yard line by Damian Burnett. Tried to strip him, and he's able to get it out to the 25-yard line. Burnett has an interception in the game.
See a little bit of strategy there. Pleasant Hill kicked it deep that time. Obviously, they know there's only 1:30 left in the half, so force center to try and travel 75 yards. Obviously, we've seen 2 field goals tonight by center, so your target yard line's probably the 20-25 yard line if you're center. So you got to go about 50 yards in 90 seconds. We'll see what they elect to do here on offense.
Officially spotted at the 26, 1st and 10 for Wilson in the offense. Ohanamu is in the backfield. Trevor going to throw it back, and this is Farrar. They're faster guys, turns it up the field. And Farrar hit hard, just shy of the 40-yard line. Schick, he delivered the wood on Chris Farrar. It is enough for a first down.
You see Farrar kind of hide a little bit and just kind of pops out to the outside. Trevor Wilson does a good job of getting the ball out to him. But again, there's that guy Schick putting that hit on.
12 yards on the passing play. Wilson, quick pass, and it is broken up. Incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not sure that wide receiver had possession of the football by the time
the Roosters thought it was a fumble, but the official clearly said incomplete pass, and second down and 10.
Well, anytime you see that ball on the field, I mean, you're taught to get
Go
on
after
either
it,
side
yeah.
of the ball. You never know what the referees are going to do, and sometimes it's hard to hear that whistle.
Did he have it secured, or that was Burnett?
Well, they're going to say he didn't make an athletic move trying to get upfield, so you can still get, 2 feet on the ground, but if you don't make that first movement upfield, usually it's not going to be a catch.
And this is Farrar. And he'll fight his way to the 45-yard line. At about 7 yards on that run. Farrar was questionable with an ankle injury, but looks to be running okay tonight. He was their leading rusher coming in. And leading touchdown scorer with 15. Just over 900 yards rushed on the season, but they use a lot of different guys running the football. Nobody really gets a lot of touches. And this is Ohanamu, and he's running right up the middle for a first down and more. And Nosa kind of slipped out of the gates there, but able to keep his balance and run it down to the 42-yard line. Nice run here.
Yeah, good job up front by center. Allowing the ball carrier to get upfield, get that first down, keep this drive moving.
And now Wilson going to go deep for Burnett. And it's broken up by Kohler as they were jousting around the 10-yard line. Kohler's lucky he didn't get called for the flag there as he was trying to get out of the way, but also, like these guys were trying to get a slow dance working out there.
Yeah, it looked like the receiver obviously was tracking that ball. The defender really didn't know where that ball was, and just does a good job of getting in
just
front of the receiver.
Just putting your hands up doesn't mean you're not doing anything wrong there. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, it's a tough judgment call for the back judge there, whether to throw that flag or not.
2nd down and 10 with the incompletion. As we're under 30 seconds to go before Hy-Vee at the half. Wilson throwing underneath. That's Farrar with the catch. Nice play by Austin Ty, the outside linebacker, as we'll get a timeout by center. This will be their final timeout of the half with 15 seconds to go in your second quarter. And the Jackets trailing by 4 points. And now you see Coach DeLong stating his case on the last play about the defensive back having his hands up like that.
Yeah, we'll see if that play ends up coming back, center maybe not able to get some points on the board where that flag's thrown right there. That puts them in field goal range. Still about 15, 16 yards outside of field goal range. If they can get the ball close to the 20-yard line, they're going to be able to kick a field goal. But again, you only have 15 seconds, so if you do get a complete pass here, you got to make sure to get your offensive lineman up on the ball and try and get that ball spiked in time to send your field goal unit out there.
Now 3rd down and 10. Burnett and Henderson, your wide receivers. And whistles as the ball is snapped. And we'll get a timeout now for Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, and if you're Pleasant Hill, you're trying to find where number 12 is in blue. Henderson's been the guy that they've looked for when they need a first down, when they need a big play. If they can get him in one-on-one coverage, obviously look for Wilson to throw it up to Henderson. See if they can't get enough yards here to get in field goal range.
Still one timeout remaining for Pleasant Hill. Leading 10-6 here late in the second quarter on the touchdown pass from Atkins to Bramwell. Center with a couple of field goal makes by their strong field goal kicker, Robertson. Both 30-plus, 34 and 35.
Got Henderson down here. One-on-one coverage.
Bramwell has the coverage on Henderson. They're looking that way. They find Henderson. Bramwell trying to keep him in bounds. He's able to get out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Down to 9 seconds to go before halftime.
So we got the first down, so that allows center to maybe run one more play before having to send the field goal unit out. We'll see if they go back to Henderson on something to the sideline. And obviously you can take a shot to the end zone, but you're probably going to burn too much time doing that. So we'll see what center elects to do here on first down.
Standard play, 6 seconds. They've got 9 on the clock. Pass incomplete to Henderson as he made a diving attempt at the 22. That cost him 3 seconds.
Yeah, and Henderson may have said, you know what, I'm not going to even try and catch this, because if I catch this, that clock's going to run, and we're going to end up at halftime.
The ball was thrown in the field of play inside the numbers, so he was doing the wise thing not catching it.
So we'll see if they take a shot at the end zone here. Henderson at the top of the screen now.
Wilson down the field and going to be intercepted. This is Trey Clevenger, the safety man, and he's knocked down just shy of the 20-yard line, and that's our first half. As Clevenger got the interception for Pleasant Hill. And that'll run out your second quarter clock.
Yeah, it looks like Wilson just overthrew his man a little bit. Good job by the safety there, just catching that football. Obviously, you'd like to see him try and run that all the way back, but you'll obviously take that defensive stand right there going into the halftime.
Second turnover of the night by Center. Won by Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill leads 10-6 at halftime. First round district action in Class 3. This is the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week on Spectrum Sports. And we're back with Hy-Vee at the half right after this. The Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Hy-Vee, the official sponsor of High School Spirit. Trees trying to change colors here, looking very fall-like here in Kansas City. We're on Holmes Road here in the metro area. Coming up next week on our Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week, a Missouri District semifinal game. Friday, November 2. The calendar is going to flip. We got Halloween coming up next week on Wednesday, and football on Friday night the 2nd. A Missouri District semifinal, TBA, to be announced. As part of our Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week right here on Spectrum Sports. As we take a look at the Class 3 District 7 standings again, Odessa is the #1 team in Class 3 Missouri football. They're playing the 8th seed tonight, Oak Grove. The winner of tonight's game, guess what you get? You get Odessa at Odessa, more than likely. The Bulldogs are rolling. That would be next week, Friday night, November 2nd. The Odessa Oak Grove winner plays the winner of this game, where Pleasant Hill leads at halftime, 10-6. Over the Yellow Jackets of Center. More of Hy-Vee at the half coming your way. Stay tuned. You're watching Spectrum Sports. Tonight's game brought to you by Concord Career College. Start your healthcare career in months, not years. Concord has several career paths to choose from, and classes are forming now. To find out more, visit concord.edu. Halloween just around the corner. Nice, beautiful orange moon. Greeting Kansas City on this Friday night at first-round district football. Time now to name the defensive play of the game. It's presented by the Ironworkers Local 10. You can learn more about their apprenticeship program by going to ironworkers10.com. Nice interception in the end zone by defensive back for Center, Damian Burnett.
Yeah, and you see Burnett do a good job of just playing. That ball's a little bit underthrown, but really good coverage there. Stalled Pleasant Hill on that drive.
Teams out of the locker room getting stretched out for the second half. See if Trevor Wilson remains the quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be Pleasant Hill football to start the third quarter. They won the opening coin toss and deferred their option to the second half. So the Roosters, who have a field goal and a touchdown pass from Atkins to Bramwell, is the scoring for the Roosters, but Trevor Wilson subbing from wide receiver to quarterback. How's he look tonight?
I think he's done a really good job of commanding this offense. You see a couple big fourth down pickups right here by Trevor Wilson. And as we know, Center's not going to throw the ball a ton, but when they do, they've done a good job of finding their main man out there, Henderson. Big playmaker guy. But I think Trevor Wilson's done a good job of commanding this offense, and obviously it's not an easy task to be put at the quarterback position if you haven't played it all season. But, you know, in this type of offense where you can kind of get in rhythm with the running game and you're not relied on to pass a ton, you know, you're able to kind of get your momentum going. You see right there, 4-12 for 50 yards and that one interception. Obviously that interception was there at the end of the half, but his main target that he's been looking for is Henderson, and we'll see if that combo continues to connect this second half.
Well, the Yellow Jackets have done a good job running the football tonight.
Yeah, I think, you know, part of your strategy is to keep that Pleasant Hill offense over there on the sideline. And if you can control the time of possession and move the football, then not only are you keeping them over there, but you're forcing them to march the length of the field. But they've given Pleasant Hill some good starting field position.
On the other side, Blake Atkins has the touchdown pass to Wyatt Bramwell, a short one. What about his night?
You know, I thought he kind of got going in that second quarter. You know, the first 2 drives, you know, ended in a punt. But, you know, he's obviously when his number was called right here, was able to find the end zone for his team. You know, I look for them to continue to run those short passing routes. They found some success in that second quarter throwing the football.
Big night with the tackles, as always, for the strong safety for the Roosters, Garrett Schick. This guy has got over 100 tackles and only played in 9 games, so he always seems to get double figures on the tackles.
Yeah, and he's a guy that understands that side of the football. You know, he understands that he's the safety on that team, but does a really good job in the run game for Pleasant Hill, and we've seen him come up and make a couple pops.
Robertson has it on the tee for the Yellow Jackets, and the third quarter is underway. And this will be fielded by Cutter Herlock. Herlock, their fastest guy. Herlock in space, and Herlock with a great return, just shy of the 40-yard line. So Cutter Herlock, who's a junior, not the biggest guy in the world, but has a lot of speed to burn.
We got good blocking right here as he's working up the field. Just does a good job of stock blocking, ends up with the pancake block right there. Again, the starting field position for Pleasant Hill tonight has been pretty darn good. This time starting on the opponent's side of the field. We've seen what this passing game can do the past couple drives.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line for Atkins. Schick is the running back in the backfield. Atkins wants to throw on 1st down, finds Herlock, and he breaks a tackle inside the 30. Burnett trying to rip the ball out, and he's finally tackled at the 26-yard line. This will be a gain of 15 and a 1st down. It's all about Cutter thus far in the second half here.
Yeah, just a quick pitch and catch here. Atkins does a good job of putting the ball right into his receiver's hands. You see there, you got to make that play as the defensive back. Got to make sure that you wrap up and stop that wide receiver after he catches the ball.
1st and 10. Atkins throwing, and off the right hand, incomplete of Cutter Herlock. Third quarter sponsored by Cutter Herlock, who had the nice kickoff return, and it looks a little gassed there. He had the long kickoff return, and 2 targets there thus far on this drive. But Coach Smith said, we're going to use this guy. We got a couple of transfers from Lone Jack, Ben Cox, and Cutter Herlock. We like him on our squad this year.
Yeah, you want to keep your playmakers on the field as much as you can.
Atkins flushed. Zane Parker can't get him, but he is ripped down by outside linebacker DeMond Washington, who was holding up the edge and makes the nice defensive stop for the Yellow Jackets.
Give credit there to the defensive line of center. They forced Atkins to flush the pocket a little bit sooner than what he wanted. And they recognize that and just come up and make that play. 3rd and long here for Pleasant Hill.
It'll be 3rd down and 11 for Atkins. Time goes middle, has Bramwell wide open, a dash to the goal line. He is in for the touchdown. He landed right on the goal line after his feet were taken out, but it is a touchdown. So the second one of the night for Wyatt Bramwell, 9th of the season, and the Rooster fans who made the trip over from Pleasant Hill loving life now, leading 16-6 here early 3rd quarter.
Yeah, great touch pass right there. Just put the ball over the secondary of center.
And now they'll go swinging gate and go for a 2-point conversion and convert. As running it in is Pleasant Hill, as able to get it into the end zone on a 2-point conversion after the touchdown pass to Wyatt Bramwell.
Yeah, and we take a look at this touchdown pass. Obviously, he just gets that ball over the secondary there. Yeah, clean pocket. A great touch pass, just getting it over the top.
And now here is your quick pitch out. I think that's number 80, Mason Smith. No, that's 88, Austin Ty. I beg your pardon. Smith was 80. It's Austin Ty. So Schlesner just whipped the ball over there and run it in. So the two outside linebackers able to convert a 2-point conversion. Now it's 18-6 for the Roosters.
And you see Atkins really starting to build some momentum on that side of the football. Last 2 drives for Pleasant Hill ended in touchdowns.
And this is Jesse Stills. So the first half sit down is over. He is out returning the kickoff, and he's across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Will he play quarterback is the question, or will they keep it with Trevor Wilson, who was the quarterback through the first half? Coach said we'll have to wait and see for the second half whether Stills will be our quarterback, but he will play the second half of this ball game. Coach's decision. See who is going to be their quarterback. It looks like Trevor Wilson is going to maintain the quarterback position as he got the start tonight. Jesse Stills is their normal quarterback. We were told he was going to sit out the first half. Coach's decision, and we'll have to wait and see about the third and fourth quarter. Here's Ohanamu, his second effort, fighting his way for a couple running off the right side.
We'll see if Stills ends up getting out on the field. Looks like he's staying on the sideline this drive. And I think I think Trevor Wilson did a really good job of leading this offense in the first half. He earned this start in the second half. We'll see if he can't lead this center offense down the field and get some points put back on the board.
You know, he is one of their better wideouts. He and Henderson are their 2 top wideouts, but you've seen that Wilson likes to throw to Henderson when he's playing quarterback. Give it off on the jet sweep. QB trying to turn the corner, and Schick would have none of it. Schick adding to his bucket full of tackles tonight for Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, and it's been tough for center to get to the perimeter, especially when you got a guy like Schick out there that just covers sideline to sideline. You see the speed, being able to cut off that ball carrier as he's trying to turn the corner.
The loss on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Schick, you mentioned, is their leading rusher, but he's also their leading tackler. And you can see why. He's got over 100 tackles coming into play tonight. As Wilson going to go with the throwback screen, finding Farrar, their fastest guy, but the Roosters are all over it. The guy that read the play was Schlesner, number 81, the outside linebacker. But it was Clevenger that wrapped him up, but it was the guy that headed it off at the pass was Brady Schlesner, number 81, making a nice play. And then his teammates corralled Farrar, and it's a loss on the play. It'll be 4th down and long.
Yeah, and we saw that exact same play go for big yardage there, finishing the first half. But Pleasant Hill does a good job of sniffing that out, staying disciplined on that side of the field, making the play.
Let's go home.
Good, Jamie. Come on.
Will send it down the field, and just going to let this one roll out of play as it goes out of play near the 45-yard line.
33-yard punt. No return, and that's obviously something that you want.
Safety. Like he was the
It's
Cardinal
not
guy.
quite flipping the field, but you're forcing Pleasant Hill to start on their side of the field, which tonight they've started on center side of the field pretty much every drive.
Bramwell, number 4 there, has 2 receiving touchdowns. He now has 9 on the year. Atkins has an interception. That was his 7th, but he has 2 touchdown passes, so 19 and 6 touchdowns to interceptions, the ratio for Blake Atkins. Pull it out, throw it, and off the hands of Kohler, and he had some running room there as you saw how frustrated he was because there's a lot of green grass in front of him. It goes as an incompletion, second down and 10.
Yeah, they had that quick smoke screen pretty well set up. Obviously just off the receiver's hands right there. Almost looked as if he kind of checked to see where the defenders were before possessing that football.
On second down and 10, this pass caught by Kohler, and he's tripped up. Taking his legs out was Malachi Love, number 4, or this would have been a big run after the catch for number 18.
So you see center playing off a little bit. Atkins just taking advantage of that. Getting the ball out quick to Kohler. Trying to give Kohler a chance to make a move and get upfield there.
Third down and 5 facing the Roosters. Herlock goes in motion. Quarterback rolling that way and finds Cutter. And Cutter turns it up the field. He'll add the first down. As he's bounced out just shy of the 40-yard line. So move the chains for Pleasant Hill, leading here in the third quarter.
And they've gone to that quick out a couple times. Really good route right there. You see the defensive back has to make sure he's staying with them, because they're going to keep going to that play until center decides they're going to put somebody out there and cover him.
Jesse Stills made the tackle, so we see the center normal starting quarterback playing some defense as this pass is low, but it is caught by Cutter Herlock, who's having a nice ball game tonight. He's getting all the yardage. Bramwell's getting all the touchdowns for the Roosters.
Yeah, when you got playmakers, when there are multiple playmakers, it really forces the defense to pick and choose who they're gonna target.
And Herlock wrestled down by Hanamu there, the linebacker. Short pickup on the catch. It's going to be third down. Still need about 2 or 3 yards for the Roosters.
Sleep 14. Sleep 14. Hey, orange.
Pleasant Hill just using that quick passing game. It's almost like a running game. We're just trying to get yards. And
Atkins going to go deep for Bramwell, trying to float this one up for him to run under. He cannot. It's incomplete. Coverage by Isaiah Henderson for center. It'll be fourth down and 3. Decision time now for the Roosters.
4th and 3 for the Roosters.
See there, he kind of threw on the run, wasn't able to get his feet set and deliver that pass to his guy.
Coach Smith going to go for it here. Atkins sets, throwing down the field for Kohler. He can't run underneath it on the post route. Has nice coverage by Damian Burnett, who signals incomplete. Burnett has the interception, so ball over on downs now to center. Trailing by 12 here, 6.5 to play in your third quarter. Win or go home time, first round district action here at Center High School. The old Center Stadium opened up in 1966. And at the old cement bleachers and natural grass field.
Good job by the center defense, forcing the turnover on downs. Gives their offense pretty good starting field position here.
Wilson handing off. Inside running play to the 38-yard line. And that was Chris Taylor.
Isaiah, go get X. Isaiah, X.
Get about 4 or 5 on that first down running play. Chris Taylor, also one of their linebackers and their leading tackler on the team.
We've got some guys that are playing both sides of the ball. Obviously, that's pretty old school, but you know, if you've got a guy that can help you on both sides, why not play him?
Give it off. Daryl Johnson on the inside give. And should have enough for the first down. Johnson, a senior, first year playing football. And a nice run. And move the chains for center.
You see the guys coming in motion here. Kind of hard to find where that ball's going to go. But we've seen Pleasant Hill do a pretty good job of staying disciplined on that. And Again, you got Schick involved in the tackle there. He's going to be a guy that's tough to fake out with any sort of motion or.
Quick pitch it to the edge to Taylor. And he's going to get slowed down by Burkhart. And his teammates will end up making the stop. But Wes Burkhart got some jersey there and kind of slowed the Yellow Jacket runner down. Nice play by number 48 for Pleasant Hill.
Fourth or fifth time Burkhart's been in the backfield making that, disrupting the play. Didn't quite make the tackle, but did enough to slow down that ball carry and allow his teammates to come and finish that tackle.
It'll be a tackle for a loss back to the 40-yard line, 2nd down and 15. Wilson rolling, throwing. Oh, and a hard hit on Damian Burnett by Austin Ty. Dislodged the ball, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and long. That was a car crash on the football field there.
Yeah, and it looked like they were trying to get the wheel route set up. Looked like he was looking down the field, but pretty good coverage, and then settles for his outlet and just gets his guy lit up right there. Not sure if that was, yeah, that's close. That's close right there. You know, it's an emphasis that they've put on the game of, you know, that helmet to helmet. Obviously that was incidental, but still got to make sure that you're taking care of the players.
Ty on the score sheet tonight with a 2-point conversion. Is Wilson in trouble? Try to avoid the sack, and he'll be sacked on the play. Tyler Hagan there, but the guy that'll get credit mostly for the sack is Austin Ty again, who had a good defensive series, number 88 for Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, gets in the backfield right there. Kind of gets Trevor Wilson in a run mode right there. You know, anytime you can get pressure in the backfield, especially with the backup quarterback.
Punt unit out. Nosa is their punter. Now they have their quarterback out there as well. So you have to be very wary. And now Pleasant Hill will take the time out here. Just over 4 to play in your 3rd quarter. It'll be 4th down and 20 after the Pleasant Hill timeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the time where you want to run a fake. Obviously, 20 yards is a long ways to try and go here. If you get a decent punt, you know, you can flip the field a little bit and force Pleasant Hill to have to march down the field.
Well, talking to both coaches, they had to adapt to new things throughout the game, they said. There's always some tricks up your sleeve. We saw the old swinging gate, 2-point conversion. I wasn't expecting that one.
Well, you've got nothing to lose. You know, it's an elimination game. So you want to make sure that, you know, you don't leave any of those tricks up your sleeve if you have the opportunity to get an opportunity to run one. Looks like Pleasant Hill play it safe here a little bit.
Punt is away. Fair catch called for and muffed. Ball on the field. And it looks like center has covered it up. Yes, indeed. They did cover it up. Chris Farrar covers up the muffed punt by Pleasant Hill. And they'll take over at the 43 on the plus side. And trying to get back in this game, trailing 18-6 late in your 3rd quarter.
And the return guy kind of on the run there, misjudged that ball.
It was Venegas, I believe.
And as they teach him, you know, Little League football, if you try and catch the ball off your shoulder pads, it's going to ricochet off. That's a tough place to turn the ball over right there. Because your defense has just done a good job of giving you the ball back.
Handed off to Farrar, stepping to the outside, trying to use his speed. And Grego able to run him out there after a short gain. This guy, he's one of their fastest players. You get him around the edge and untracked, he might have taken that to the house.
Yeah, it looked like Pleasant Hill had a pretty good angle at stopping him, but Farrar just does a good job of sticking that foot in the ground and getting up the sideline there.
Able to get 5, 2nd down and 5. Inside running play, and Ohanmu got great blocking up front, runs for the first down as he's inside the 30, near the 27-yard line. And there's a statement you could have drove a Mack truck through that hole. Great job by the O-line for center, opening things up for Nosa that time.
Yeah, and we've seen center have a lot of success running the football in between the tackles. And like you said, those boys up front are doing a good job of creating some holes. When you run the ball in between the tackles, it's man on man, just trying to move your guy forward.
And again, if it worked the last time, they'll do it again. And the running play is to Nosa Ohanmu, and he runs for another good gain, nearly a first down. It'll be second down and short, but look at that hole.
Yeah, and you don't see any white jerseys getting any sort of penetration there. Allows that running back to get past the line of scrimmage and just read his blocks. And right now, these guys for center are just working all the way down the field.
And Nosa again, and it's just a convoy down the field. The blue shirts will be first and goal for the Yellow Jackets. And just a mindset right now of running the football with number 2, and the big guys up front are just pushing the Roosters back.
You see just good job up front. You see those big guys keeping their feet moving, keeping the pile going.
Flags down, and again, penalties inside the red zone have been a killer tonight for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and center really hasn't been penalized very often, but these penalties are costly inside the red zone. You had all the momentum going there on those last 3 run plays, moving down the field.
Like some players are shaking up. I see a lot of gimpy Yellow Jackets going back to the huddle as they get the penalty walked off. So we saw a couple of holding penalties in the first half that kind of sabotaged some drives in the red zone. Able to get a couple of field goals. They need touchdowns now, trailing 18-6 late in the third quarter. So back to the 12-yard line, first and goal. Running the ball has been the MO on this drive. As Wilson going to take off. Tackle from behind by Ty, who tried to rip the ball out from behind. Austin Ty, number 88, makes the stop, but he was trying to get the fumble cause stat there on that play.
Well, Trevor Wilson was trying to get his blockers to get upfield, just took a little bit for that play to develop. Pleasant Hill was able to get some penetration in the backfield that time. Dragged the quarterback down from behind.
Loss of 1. So second down and goals from the 13-yard line now. Wilson, the pump. So buying time. Able to get around the corner and get what he can as he runs out near the 10-yard line. As good coverage in the secondary by Pleasant Hill. And Johnny, you mentioned earlier with the field compressed, that back line of the end zone is like another defender for you.
Yeah, and when you get to the scramble drill, as you see Wilson getting the scramble drill right here, as a receiver, you gotta be able to come back to the football and help your quarterback out a little bit. But again, you see Schick right there, almost eyeing that quarterback the entire time. Does a good job of running Wilson out of bounds.
So now third down and goal from the 10-yard line, and an inside run to Farrar. And he gets to the 5 and then is pushed back. So now it'll be fourth down and goal from the 5. The Yellow Jackets trailing here by 12 points. You're late in the third quarter. You've got a good field goal kicker. Do you take the points or do you go for it here?
I think you go for it. And, you talked about it. These coaches have some plays, some maybe not trick plays, but plays that the other team may not have seen that, you can't go to the offseason not ran them. So we'll see if they got something here that Pleasant Hill hasn't seen. Able to finish this drive in the end zone.
They go for it. Fourth down and goal from the 5-yard line. Trailing here late in the third quarter. Wilson rolling. Pumping. Hit as he throws. Low. Incomplete.
And it looked like he had a guy in the back of the end zone, just wasn't able to get his feet set. Pleasant Hill did a pretty good job of flushing him to the sideline.
And that was Ohanmu, the running back, and just a low pass. He couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, that would have been a tough throw back across the field. And Wilson did everything that he could right there to extend that play and try and get his team in the end zone. But it looks like Pleasant Hill is going to take over at the 5-yard line. And again, who's that guy? Schick right there, making the play, forcing Wilson to throw that ball away.
Pleasant Hill takes over on downs at their own 5-yard line. Under a minute to play in your third quarter. They go with the standard I formation, the fullback in front of Schick. Schick will get the handoff, and Garrett, playing both ways tonight, runs it out to the 13-yard line for a gain about 7 or 8 yards.
We'll see if Pleasant Hill changes the play calling a little bit on offense. See if they run the football a little bit more. As you see right there, Schick does a good job on first down as well as getting him out of that end zone.
That got him out of a nice hole there, did Garrett. And here's Schick again off the left side, and he's got the first down. He's hit down hard on the play by Isaiah Henderson.
I think that play will take us to the fourth quarter. Pleasant Hill doesn't need to run a play here.
Chains are set, clock is rolling, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter in this first round Class 3 District 7 game between the 4 and 5 seed. And a couple of touchdown passes from Atkins to Bramwell. The difference, Pleasant Hill leads it 18-6 at the end of 3 on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Kevin White and Johnny Beck on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. And here's your scoring by quarters. Low scoring game. Seen 3 field goal makes, a couple of touchdown passes by Pleasant Hill, and a 2-point conversion, so all kinds of different scoring. And it's 18-6, the 5 seed leading the 4 seed here in this Class 3 District 7 game. Win or go home. And next week, we'll have a district semifinal on the Missouri side. And that'll be next Friday, November 2nd, as we start the fourth quarter. And it's a Garrett Schick running play. As it looks like maybe the strategies change offensively for Pleasant Hill with the lead here. They want to run the football and run the clock here in the fourth quarter, probably.
Well, knowing that Center is more of a running team, I mean, the clock obviously is your best friend, so you want to try and milk as much clock as you can. And obviously running the football allows that clock to keep rolling.
He's second down and 5. And this is a fullback run, and he's got some space. Normally a blocker. And running the football was Silas Gray, a sophomore running back. And he is shaken up at the end of this run. And tell you what, find the football tonight has been a chore for the broadcast crew. Just kind of puts it in his belly as they thought Schick may have had the ball, and then the fullback, Gray, takes off with the football, but gets roughed up at the end of the play. As looked like he was grabbing his knee, his left knee there, as he had his legs taken out by Nosa Ohanmu. Trainer will check him out.
Yeah, it looked like the tackler obviously went low, which you're taught to do. You're supposed to go around the legs, but may have caught that knee. But what a play design right there by Pleasant Hill. That's a design draw play. Yep. Obviously, you don't draw it up like that. You don't see that a lot, but really good play design and execution right there.
Just took a helmet on his leg there, but no, that's a design play. Initially, I thought it was a broken play, and I thought, well, no, that's a design play, and coach is pulling out all the fancy stuff tonight on TV, I guess. Have you ever seen the single wing offense? Did some 8-man Colorado single wing games. Boy, you talk about the old spinner series and trying to find the football as center finds the quarterback for a sack inside the 35 as Julian Rangel there, but finding the football been a chore tonight.
Yes,
good work by the defensive line here.
Yeah, surprising pass play here by Pleasant Hill, but obviously trying to keep the center defense on their heels a little bit, but the guys up front for center did a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback, forcing the sack.
Rangel, an all-state, all-conference player, team captain. Pass is caught. There's Herlock hurdling. That's an easy thing to say. As he gets down to the 35, it's a first down catch and run by Cutter Herlock for Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, what a great athletic move right there, hurdling the defender. Little Kareem Hunt-esque right there. You see the playmaking ability when Herlock gets in the open field. Not only did he hurdle him, but he kept his balance and got another 10 yards after that.
All the way down to the 35. Herlock leading receiver as far as yardage in this game. Motion by Bramwell. Bramwell has the 2 TD catches as Atkins rolling right, throwing back, and finding his man. That's Herlock for another first down. As he's near the 20-yard line. Cutter Herlock, the transfer from Lone Jack, the junior, their fastest guy on the squad, able to get 16. And a first down for the Roosters, trying to seal this one up here. As we're a couple minutes into the fourth quarter, driving the football after a nice fourth down stop. Here's Jake Harlan. Down near the 14-yard line before he's wrapped up. Harlan, the backup running back, also their place kicker. He's a very good running back. He averages over 7 yards per carry, has 6 touchdowns. He's just a sophomore. He played last year. I remember him as a freshman playing. So a baseball player there. Here's Atkins throwing, and Bramwell with the catch, taken down by Burnett. And it'll be enough for a first down. The Roosters moving swiftly down the field.
Yeah, and you're seeing this passing attack almost uses an extended, running attack. As they started off the drive running the football, but the last 5 or 6 plays, they put the ball in the air, but done a good job of getting completions and keeping the clock going.
Quarterback going to keep it on the read option, going nowhere as Damon Washington, the outside linebacker, read that play nicely. And stops it back at the 10-yard line.
Anytime you have those read option plays, it's so imperative for the defensive guys to stay disciplined and stay on your man. And right there, Washington does a good job of staying with the quarterback.
Tackle for a loss of 2, back to the 10. Second down and goal. Atkins throwing. Bramwell with the catch. Bramwell with the hat trick. 3 touchdown catches tonight for Wyatt Bramwell, the senior wideout, number 4 for the Roosters. And it's now 24-6, Pleasant Hill.
You see that pass by Atkins just over the outreached hands of the center defender. A little bit of zip on that ball, putting the ball right exactly where he needed to. Obviously, we've seen this Pleasant Hill offense really pick up some momentum since the start of the second quarter.
It's a 10-yard pass and catch. Here's Harwell's extra point. And he hits it. It is up and good. And Pleasant Hill in charge here in the fourth quarter of this first-round district game.
You take a look here. It just gets it over the fingertips of that center defender. Good concentration by the receiver, hauling that ball in and then just breaking that tackle, getting in the end zone. But again, see Pleasant Hill do a good job of moving the ball down the field. 11 plays, 95 yards, took 4:22 off the clock. Finished up with Bramwell with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day.
Not a lot of yardage. I think Herlock's got him beat on the yardage tonight, but he's got the end zone strikes, 3 of them, now 10 on the year. He leads the team in that category. And the quarterback now, Atkins, has 20 to go along with 7 INTs. He did throw an interception earlier in the ball game. Harlan has it on the tee. And Pleasant Hill looking good here with 8.5 to play in regulation as they could advance on to take on conference foe Odessa. As this is Jesse Stills, and Stills not playing quarterback tonight, but running back kicks and doing a very good job with his return work.
We'll see if center changes their offensive mindset here and goes a little bit more in the air. Obviously, they just need points on the board. Good starting field position for center. Still got 8:22 on the clock, so if you can get a quick score here.
This is their normal starting quarterback, but he is not playing tonight. Coach's decision. He is the nephew of former Chiefs linebacker Gary Stills. But tonight, Trevor Wilson got the call, and Stills got the sideline. Offense out on the first down and 10. Spot the football at the 38 after the nice return by Stills. Cross sweep, Ohanmu, and he'll run into Ben Cox, the linebacker, but he still carries him for a couple of yards to the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7. Second down and 3. Good night for Nosa, the sophomore running back. He's got a lot of work tonight.
You see just a quick pitch play here. Again, you see those feet continuing to move after that initial contact. Getting the extra yard or 2. It's important for a running back to be able to, fall forward.
This is Farrar slipping but maintaining his balance, and he's got the first down and more as he runs across the 40. Farrar is their leading rusher, and you can see why. He has a burst. Once he got his footing straightened out here, he really hit this hole nicely.
Yeah, he slipped a couple times, but does a good job putting that hand on the ground, keeping his balance, and then just beating the defenders up the field. Center getting up on the ball as quick as they can, trying to get these plays in as quick as they can.
18 yards and a first down by Farrar. Here's Ohanmu down the left hash. Scrum breaks out. I tell you what, is it my imagination, or can you smell those funnel cakes all the way up here? We're at a pretty high level of the press box, but downstairs they got funnel cakes and fried Twinkies by the Boy Scouts who are raising money to fund a trip to Florida for one of their projects. But man, I'm losing my mind here smelling those things. They smell good.
Well, they gave the last call for the
okay.
About 5 minutes
ago.
So
I'm too late. Just keep smelling them, old man. You can't eat them, but second down and 6. And here's a pass by Nosa down the field, finding Henderson. Touchdown, center. So some trickery works out as Ohanmu. Did he fumble the ball out now? They're not scoring this?
Well, he fumbled it in the end zone. I'm not sure what the referee...
Now they're saying no points. And the officials are talking it over here, so wave off the touchdown. Coach DeLong says, guys, I'll handle the officials. You don't talk to them. Let's see here.
Yeah, 'cause all he has to do is cross the goal line.
Okay, and this ball got popped out. And they're saying incomplete. Oh, my, I thought he was already in. Ball got knocked out by Bramwell here.
Great play design, great play call. Obviously, that's one of those plays that you keep for those types of...
And celebrating before he's in the end zone, and he knocked the ball free. The ball was fumbled out of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and Pleasant Hill will get it.
Yeah, and that's your big playmaker for the receiver position, Henderson, and he's got to secure that football all the way through the catch.
Tell you what, they're saying that he fumbled the ball out of the end zone, but watch him. He starts to go in celebration mode before he's in the end zone. Hand up, ball loose, and the ball, Bramwell knocks it free. No touchdown, no surprise trick play. Ball goes out, and man.
Give credit to Bramwell for not giving up on the play and obviously forcing that fumble.
And now Adkins is trying to run some clock here, able to get to the 21. Now we've seen guys let the ball loose before the end zone. And we see guys now celebrating a la Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs giving the peace sign before he goes into the end zone. Guys, get in the end zone and, you know, then do your celebration, because tell you what, that is a costly play for the Center Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
now Atkins circling again, but he's going to get taken down. Malachi Love will finally sack him, but Blake Love, a whirling dervish there. Finally sacked by the outside linebacker.
And going back to that turnover by Center, that's that quick score that they needed to get back in the game. And then obviously you see the defense step up. You know, if there's a teaching point right there, you got to make sure that you secure that football. And, you know, just like you said, you can't celebrate too early. Got to make sure you understand the situation in the game and, you know, what that would mean for your team if you were able to score that touchdown.
Clevenger with the punt, and the ball is muffed. The return man could not get it on the run. And who's got it? They say it'll be Pleasant Hill football at around the 43-yard line. They're still unpiling the players. And it's Rooster football as the return man, I think that was Burnett there. And once again, the misjudgment of a punt return.
So we've seen both returners.
Tried to catch this on the run and just mishandled it, and the Roosters able to cover it up.
Yeah, just trying to make a play right there. Obviously your team's down. You're trying to catch that ball on the run and hopefully get some yards there, but you know, the coverage down the field by Pleasant Hill may have forced that return guy to take his eyes off the ball.
Here's Schick, running room off the right side, and Schick with a first down and more. Finally wrapped up on the play as he was dragging tacklers. As making the stop that time was Khalil Brown, a sophomore defensive lineman.
And if you're center, you just got to try and get that ball loose any way that you can. Try and get some guys to hold up the ball carrier, allow your teammates to come and try and pry that ball loose. If you're Pleasant Hill, you're just doing everything you can to not have any negative plays here. Clock's still rolling, getting down to the 4-minute mark here.
Force Center to use their timeouts as here's Schick. Following his blockers, and a nice run inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Well, last year, Center won the district championship, but met Maryville in the first round after the district, so that would have been the state quarterfinals, and they lost to the Spoof Hounds for a second straight year. And this year, I guess they can get a big rally going. They go out in the first round of district play as the 4th seed. Good job by Atkins of milking the play clock down, as this is Gray. Good to see him back out there. The fullback getting the touch, and remember, he got a helmet on his leg earlier and left the game, but now back out there. Or that's Burkhart, I beg your pardon. Burkhart seeing some time at fullback as Gray left the lineup. 48, not 43.
He's had a heck of a game on the defensive side of the football, so
Gray not back out there, so
earning some carries.
He's running the football, running the clock here, trying to go to 8-2, and another meeting with Odessa from their conference, who they lost to by only 10 points. So it wasn't like the #1 team in the state, you know, crushed them. And now flags are down as players are mixing up down the field. Now, this flag is away from where the ball was run, as players were pushing and shoving down the field. And Brian Keith will sort this out for us.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, your emotions get the best of you. And, you know, this is a tough way to watch your season kind of
Personal foul on center.
coming to an end, but you got to make sure that you're playing, you know, in between the whistles, and you can't do anything. It's going to cost your team regardless of the score. Got to make sure you're playing team football all the way through the 48 minutes.
After the whistle, late hit, coach.
He's saying a late hit to the center secondary and move the ball inside the 15. They'll spot it at the 12-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Pleasant Hill.
You can see Atkins wait until about 8 on the play clock.
Oh,
before
he's
he gets
doing a
under
great
center.
job. Just letting that play clock run. Here's Schick to the outside. And Schick showing some power running. Just shy of the 5-yard line is Garrett Schick, who's had his normal night of double figures tackles and now running the football to run the clock and move to the second round of the districts.
7-yard gain and 2nd and 3 for the Roosters.
Ever since the slow start for Pleasant Hill on offense, they've really been able to control this game on the offensive side. Atkins did throw the pick, but other than that, they've been pretty much getting yards when they need to. Now you see this running game obviously finishing the game off for Pleasant Hill.
Quick hitter to Burkhardt, the fullback. And Burkhardt down to the 1-yard line. Gain of 2.
If you're Pleasant Hill, you may not have to run another offensive play. You can probably kneel it. We'll see what they elect to do. Obviously, Burkhardt wants that football, I can tell you that. He wants to get in the end zone tonight. Schick wants to get in the end zone tonight.
Yeah, Schick has 12 touchdowns on the year running the football. And they'll give it to the fullback, Burkhardt, and he'll pound it in for the touchdown for Pleasant Hill.
What a way to cap a night for Burkhardt. Done a heck of a job on the defensive side of the ball. Gets inserted in the game in the 4th quarter when their starting fullback goes out with an injury. He's going to remember that touchdown for a while.
Stay off that page 70. You got to stay off that center. Right?
Jay Carlin in for the point after touchdown. And it is up and good. Pleasant Hill trailed early, 3-0, but they've been the dominant team ever since then. Here's the fullback, little dive play.
Yeah, Burkhardt just pushes his body forward. All he needed was a yard there. Almost looked like he was going to jump the pile into the end zone, but like I said, you know, good for him. He's played a really tough game on the defensive side. Getting in the backfield all night long for Pleasant Hill, and you know, what a way to cap off your night.
So the Roosters go to 8-2. Center will end their season at 7-3, but good run for their seniors. Their seniors will finish off their 4-year career at 39-9. So they won a lot of games this senior class for the Yellow Jackets, but it's going to end tonight.
Yeah, nothing to hang your hat about. I mean, these guys should be very prideful.
Low kick hits an up man. He's able to secure the football. That was Genesis Bollinger. Genesis is their offensive lineman center. Got a divot on his helmet, but he did secure the football. That's all that matters, as he was one of the up men. The offensive line tonight for Center has done a great job. I was talking to DeAndre Winston's father, who does all the grilling here, does the brisket cooking. As once again, Bollinger, one of the offensive linemen,
yeah, look.
Whoa,
at that.
right in the belly, he took that one. And able just to secure. Remember, he's an offensive lineman. He's not part of the all-hands team there, but
Well, and those guys up front are taught, to watch that ball off the tee, because you could start to turn to get back to your spot, and that ball ricochets off your back. So good job there by Bollinger securing that football.
Wilson going to throw deep down the field for Stills, and the ball is broken up. Bramwell there to knock it away.
Good effort by both sides right there. 50-50 ball. Stills does a good job of going up for it, but as you see, Pleasant Hill had that well covered down the field.
Kohler there as well. Frustrating night for young Jesse Stills. Second down and 10. Now on the jet sweep. And turning up the field is Farrar inside the 35, down near the 33-yard line. It is a first down run.
And like you just pointed out, this Center offensive line has done a really good job of allowing these running backs to find some pretty good holes to run through.
Winston, Dickerson, Bollinger, Lawton, Zane Parker. Zane's dad is a teacher here at the high school. They've done a good job tonight as Wilson throwing on the run, finding his main target, Isaiah Henderson, inside the 30, just shy of the 25 for a first down catch.
A penalty flag on the 35-yard line.
Roughing the passer will be called on the Pleasant Hill defense here.
We'll tack on half the distance to the goal penalty here.
And enough yardage on the first down catch. Penalty yardage. Have them first and goal here. Is trying to get some late points here as we're under a minute to play on the season for the Yellow Jackets of Center. Finish at 7-3. First and goal from the 8-yard line for Trevor Wilson in the offense. Wilson rolling, throwing, and the catch is made by Farrar. He dives in for the touchdown. Chris Farrar. That's a tough catch, and he's able to get it across the goal line for the Yellow Jacket touchdown.
Yeah, good throw and catch here. You see Wilson just getting out of the pocket there, getting that ball out to Farrar, and Farrar just leapfrogs into the end zone there. Good score for Center. Obviously, they know they've had some plays they wish they had back. These guys are fighting all the way to the end, and as a coach, that makes you happy. And obviously, you never want to see your season end, but these guys aren't going out without a fight.
That's the fourth receiving touchdown for Farrar. He now has 19 touchdowns on the year. He has a 15 rushing, now 4 receiving. He's a dynamic player, and he's only a junior. And it's a heck of a play by Chris to make the catch and then get into the end zone here.
Yeah, you see that ball thrown a little bit low, but he does a good job of concentrating on securing that football. It just falls into the end zone. But again, these guys for Center have nothing to hold their head about. They played a tough game. A couple plays didn't go their way. But again, these guys are fighting all the way to the final whistle. Looks like they'll go for 2 here. See if they can't tack on a couple more points.
Well, Farrar came in with an ankle injury, but fought through the pain, got the score. They'll go for a 2-point conversion as Johnson back to Stills, who is normally their starting quarterback. Stills pumping, Now going to take off, and he fights to the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, it is a 2-point conversion for Jesse Stills.
Great effort right there by Stills. He's looking to pass that ball, but he can't find anybody open and just does enough to kind of slither his way into the end zone there for the 2-point conversion. You see it's a double reverse pass, but again, does the smart thing, not throwing the ball into coverage, finding his way across that goal line right there. Sure, we'll see an onside kick here by center. Try and get that ball back as quickly as they can. Pleasant Hill send their hands team out. Got some pretty good guys on that side of on the offensive side of the ball, so some guys that have some secure hands.
Yeah, Cayman Stidham is on that line. Most of their wide receiving group. Brady Schlesner awaiting the Robertson onside kick. Robertson has had some good kicks tonight, 2 field goals of 30+ yards. Now we'll go to his onside kicking game as he has the ball on the tee here, Johnny.
Yeah, and you want to make sure if you're the kicker, you want that ball to go 10 yards. You know, you have to make sure that you give your guys an opportunity to try and get down there and get that ball. But so many times you see that ball kicked a little bit short. And, you know, you don't give your team a chance at all. So you're basically trying to find an aiming point on the sideline, you know, whether it's a marker or you know, the numbers, but usually you're aiming 15 yards down the field at the sideline. Whether you're trying to get that big hop or just put that ball on the ground, and you know, sometimes just the bounce of the ball can allow your guys to get down the field. We'll see what they elect to do.
Laying it flat on the kicking tee like this.
Yeah, so it's going to kind of come out wobbly, and again, there's no way to determine where that ball is going to bounce. So if you're the Pleasant Hill guy, you're just trying to get on top of that ball as quickly as you can.
And sends it down the field, but it does not go the necessary 10 yards. Goes out at the 45. The flag comes out, and it'll be Pleasant Hill football. And we'll run off the final 38 seconds here and move on to the district semifinals, where it'll most likely be a conference foe and the #1 team in the state, Odessa. But talking to Coach Smith, he's looking for another crack at Odessa. Next week, we'll have our Missouri District semifinal game. Friday night, the 2nd at 7 p.m. It'll be a ball game to be announced later. Check out the Spectrum Sports Twitter page. Victory formation time for the Roosters. As they're the 5 seed, and they're going to move on in the district and go to 8-2. They're number 10 in the state poll in Missouri. More than likely going to take on the #1 team in the Missouri State Poll in Class 3, Odessa, next Friday night.
Well, they obviously know what to expect going against Odessa. I already haven't played them this year. It's going to be easy to get your guys all fired up for that game.
48-38 was the final. That ball game at Pleasant Hill. This time it'll be at Odessa, as Pleasant Hill moving on in the Missouri State playoffs. They're 8-2. Center ends their season at 7-3. Back with a wrap-up right after this. Coming up next week, we're going to have a Missouri District semifinal for you. We don't know the 2 teams, so Go to our Twitter page, Spectrum Sports, and check that out. Our final tonight is 32-14. Pleasant Hill, big game for the quarterback Atkins to Wyatt Bramwell. We saw that connection 3 times tonight. And I tell you what, Pleasant Hill got it done on the road, and they advance on in the district playoffs.
Yeah, hard-fought game tonight by both sides. Obviously, Center got up early, was able to kind of stymie this Pleasant Hill offense, but Atkins and those guys on that side of the ball really got going in the second quarter and really never looked back. But, definitely nothing to hang your hat about if you're Center. They played a really tough game, finishing the season 7-3, sending your seniors out with a 39-9 record. Tough way to end the season, but at the same time, you got to take a lot of pride in what you've done this season.
Special thanks to the school's athletic directors, Jim Oliver of Pleasant Hill, Brad Sweeten of Center. Thanks to the coaches, Greg Smith of Pleasant Hill, and Brian DeLong of Center. For Johnny Beck and our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew. Also, our stat man tonight, Ted Bolin, a graduate of Center High School in 1972. Kevin White saying so long from Center Stadium. Our final, once again, Pleasant Hill wins it 32-14 as we say goodnight from Center High School in Kansas City.